Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrea Olson. I'm the Executive Director of CAPND, our network's state association. Before we get started, Holly, I think you're going to share with us the prompt. Thank you, Holly. If you can unmute, stay muted, whatever you want to do. If you want to join me, please, we're going to start with the promise of community action. It's in the chat window, so join me. Promise of
Promise
community
of community
action.
action. Community
Community
action
action changes
changes
people's
people's
lives,
lives,
embodies
embodies
the
the
spirit of
spirit of
hope,
hope,
improves
improves
communities,
communities,
and makes
and makes
America
America
a better
a better
place to
place to
live.
live.
We
We
care about
care
the
about the
entire
entire
community,
community,
and we are
and you're
dedicated to
dedicated to
helping
helping
people
people
help
help themselves.
themselves and each other. I love it in all its glorious, chaotic form. Thank you, everybody. Well, again, welcome. I am really excited. We've been offering these trainings for statewide staff because we're always just trying to, be informed and know and learn about things that help us be better in our roles at community action. Our network has a long-standing history with the Bank of North Dakota. And really, we've done a lot of work with you folks over the years, Kyle, with our IDA program, and you guys are a very important partner to us. So we're excited to welcome Kyle today. He's going to tell us all about the new financial literacy curriculum, Smart with My Money. So Kyle, without further ado, welcome. Thank you for being here, and we will turn it over to you.
All right. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Hello, everybody. It is Friday. Hopefully, it's going to warm up here throughout the weekend after all the wintry weather we had. What first things first, I'm going to put the link into the chat for the Smart with My Money. Hopefully that works, and we'll get to that website platform here shortly. It is a free platform if you already haven't signed up for an account or anything like that. We'll get to that here after the presentation, but right now I just wanted to put it in there before we get going. So I am Kyle Patterson. I have been with the Bank of North Dakota for only about 3 months right now. I actually worked in traffic and roadway safety for about 3 years for Vision Zero for the state of North Dakota. So I am in a new role doing education outreach and kind of focusing on financial literacy. My background surprising is actually sports broadcasting. So a very unique background, no doubt about that. But I love communicating with people. I've always worked with the high school, college kid aspect for the last decade or so. So this is kind of fun to really dive into, to really go and help our state of North Dakota, not just for the young people, but throughout the generations too, for financial literacy. So we're just going to get started here with the presentation before we dive into the website. I believe I have an hour. So let's move on here. And we want to make this new financial literacy resource. It's designed to assist our citizens of North Dakota to make positive and lifelong financial decisions. So moving on here, the heart of the state of North Dakota's mission is empowerment of people. So we want to improve the lives, the inspiration of success. And with today, we're looking at these three objectives that the state of North Dakota has, which is empower people, improve lives, and inspire success. And we believe that this financial platform hits all three of those criteria as we dive in here for today. Now, why personal finance? Now, financial literacy, it is a challenge for all individuals of all ages. Older generations tend to have a slightly better skills. The overall rates, though, across the state are too low just across the board. Now, looking at the statistics here that I popped up, you can see that these numbers indicate that there is room for improvement in financial literacy across all age groups. And this just shows Gen Z, their financial literacy rate, according to research that I've done, 36% millennials, a little higher, Gen X around the same, and then baby boomers actually have a higher rate of financial literacy based on the research that we have. But still, improvement for everybody overall. Now, the impact of financial illiteracy is quite significant, actually. On average, Americans lose around $1,800 annually due to financial misunderstanding. So, roughly 77% of Americans are financially anxious at the same time, And then for the younger aspect, 73% of teens, they express a desire for more personal finance education. So, once again, based on just a little bit of the reality of financial education, just a staggering number of $1,800 too. What could you do with an extra $1,800? No doubt about that. Now, a quarter of American adults they lack trusted financial guidance. So this is leading to a generation gap where many might feel isolated in seeking advice. And for this platform, we want to aim to bridge that gap and to provide a more accessible resource and a reliable financial resource that they can do. So, just looking at the stats again, a quarter of American adults they lack that trusted financial guidance, that generational gap. And then a concerning number is that 63% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, and that affects roughly 125 million individuals on a weekly basis from the research that we've done here. Now, this financial literacy initiative wants to break that cycle and empower individuals to take control of their financial well-being. A little bit more behind the numbers here. While not everybody faces financial literacy challenges, it does play a significant role in persistent paycheck struggles. The lack of financial literacy that could contribute to the issue for today that we want to present a solution to address this gap that we have. So, just a little bit more behind the statistics that we are kind of breaking into this, or what we looked at before we launched into this program. Now, a surprising stat here is that 71% of Americans believe they possess high financial literacy. That's, 71%, pretty good number. But test scores reveal that an average of only 33 to 55%, highlighting a significant gap in that self awareness. So, once again, there's a lot of people that they think they have that financial education and they probably are making the right steps. Probably getting that emergency fund, building that college fund that they have, or maybe their kids' college fund or anything. But revealing just based on that, it's still a pretty big gap from 33 to 55%. So that brings us to the program. Now, the QR code there goes to the Smart with My Money website that I did place into the chat. You can also scan the QR code because it is a mobile friendly site at the same time. And when we dive into it, I'll just kind of show you the different platforms that we have. So now with financial literacy, the state of North Dakota, it's committed to making North Dakota the most financially literate state in the nation. Now, this is a state of North Dakota platform. The Bank of North Dakota is really just taking the initiative to really roll this out to the state of North Dakota. We are committed to make it, once again, the most financially literate state in the nation. And with this new platform, smartwithmymoney.nd.gov, this is where we can use those modules that we will dive into that could be used independently or as part of a class curriculum or as individuals of who you work with. So we want to make it where it could be overall kind of entailing for all the citizens of all age groups to all walks of life too for that. So the one thing that we want to hit on, this is completely free. So this is for everybody where it is free. We're trying to get it into colleges and school classrooms, trying to get into your guys' programs and any programs that can assist this, that can use this resource that is free for anybody that needs just a little bit more financial knowledge, financial education. Now, the content we are working with iGrad and Enrich is where the Smart with My Money platform comes with. And it offers 34 standard courses, which those are still being updated every day or every month, I should say, for that. And there is pre and post assessments with those courses. There's over 124 topics, 2,800 pieces of content that includes articles, tools, videos, courses. So once again, it's very interactive. It's not just videos. It's not just articles. It's a little bit of everything with the interaction. And when we dive into the website here for this afternoon, you'll see how it's not, it's laid out very nicely of how it makes it more interactive, an interactive platform. Now, we had some great results here when we were looking at what platform to use with iGrad and Enrich. And now they looked at the data based on the COVID-19 pandemic with those challenges, and the financial wellness platform with iGrad, it has shown very promising results. Now, this is from January 2020 to December 2021 for these stats. And there was actually a notable decrease in financial stress that you can see there. The average stress level dropped from 3.18 in January to that 2020 to 2.17 in the December of 2021. Additionally, there was a 59% increase in users who built up just a 3-month emergency fund. And that's huge itself. Over half that just started to build their emergency fund in some way or form. And then at least 28% increase in users paying off their credit cards in full each month, which is another great number to have to start with those credit cards and that debt that they might have for that. Diving into further insights of the statistics that we've had for the outcomes between the timeline of 2020 of January and December of 2021, there was a 14% increase in users contributing to their retirement. Another huge goal after getting out of debt or building that emergency fund. They're looking at the end goal, for retirement. 14% for that. There was an average of about almost 19 logins per user for that time. And that's this platform, as you will see when we dive in, you can either log in daily, weekly, monthly. It's whatever they feel comfortable with to just gain a little bit more financial knowledge for that. And then for the impressive number is that there is an average of almost 92 interactions per user. Interactions, of course, watching a video, reading an article, clicking that link for more information for infographics. And it just shows that this website has very active engagement for that too. So these figures are highlighting the positive impacts of the financial educational platform that it has had on users. So once again, smartwithmymoney.nd.gov. When we're looking at this website is tailored guidance for every stage. I've mentioned that here during this presentation. You can look at the teenage years from 13 to 19. It can focus on budgeting basics and savings goals. Early adulthood, 20 to 35, covering student loans, vehicle purchase, home affordability, retirement savings. Middle adulthood, addressing home affordability, taxes, life insurance, saving for a children's education at the same time. And then late adulthood, tackling debt, financial goals, retirement planning, estate planning, and then eldership for 66 and plus, breaking down on what the age groups here is at, kind of guiding through the living in retirement and then revisiting those estate plans too. So looking at the financial stages of life, it could help in some way or form of just getting a little bit more knowledge from that. Excuse me. Now, for this every stage too, there's money personalities. When we first log in, when we first create an account, you will take a quick 10-minute personality test to see where your money personality is. And this is how it could influence your financial decisions and how it will cater to you on the platform. So when you take that first 10-minute assessment, it will then recommend articles that are related to your money personality, and you can learn more about how it can affect your financial choices. Now, the financial wellness checkup, just a short questionnaire, and once again, it will tailor those topics to what you are interested in based on that. So we won't go through the assessment today because it does take about 10 minutes and when you create a new account, but the more truthful you are on those answers, the better it will be for when bringing up the content that would be an interest to you or to anybody that you work with or anybody that's in the classroom too, based on that. The money personalities that it breaks down into the platform, as you can see here, it goes based on your emotions type. And then it breaks down into 3 subcategories, which could be apprehensive, cautious, relaxed. And then just going down the list there, your outlook type, your focus type, your influence type, and then your bonus type. So it helps you understand what it means, what it means to you, what your financial personality is, and see if it does match you based on their description that they have. And when we get into that, we'll dive into it and show you where the description is and where you can really dive in to not just what it says there, but your articles that it recommends or the videos that it recommends based on that assessment once again. Now, looking at this, the platform offers a range of tools also and features. It has daily and monthly tasks to enhance those financial knowledges. So you can once again customize if you want to log in daily or monthly or weekly or anything like that. You don't have to, but it customizes that to help you keep coming back and earn experience points for that. And then it has monthly nudges. So if somebody doesn't log in for 30 some days or that, it'll remind you through a quick email, say, hey, do you want to check out something here based on financial education? You can turn that off. But right now, it's nice to have those monthly nudges. There is no spam emails or anything like that. It's just that monthly nudge to really get into back into financial education. And then there's quarterly webinars with one coming up actually in March. And that's usually right on the homepage when they do pop those up. And those are live webinars and they cover various financial topics from taxes to emergency fund to just a little bit of everything. It just depends what their quarterly webinars that they will be doing there for that. Now, beyond the practical tools that we have, and when we dive into that, it also has mindfulness features. So there is meditations where it has like 5 minute meditations or 10 or 15 minutes. Explore a little bit more of that money personality. There's journaling that's involved that it has you do for maybe a weekly task based on the topic that it gives you. And then also it has like stress scoring for holistic approach to the financial well-being. Now, when we talk about journaling and when it types in like certain numbers, like what's in your bank account or anything like that to help you figure out those calculators that are in these tools, this is completely private. Nobody else can access it. It is encrypted and all that. So once those numbers are typed in or once that journaling is completely private, nobody can access it at all. So that's the one thing we want to know. It is a free platform, but for everybody that I'm working with, nobody else can see any of that data or any journaling or anything like that. So that's one thing I just want to hit on too. That has been, it's like, oh, can't people see this? No, nobody can see it. Even if it's in a classroom setting or anything, it is all private. It is all based on what you want to type in there or anything like that. And I'll kind of show you a little bit about that too, where these tools that you type in, where I'll ask you some questions to calculate like a credit score or anything like that. Also, it has a budget sheet, a student loan snapshot. You can track student loans. It shows like credit card pay down, college savings planner, emergency fund, credit score, just many other tools based on that. Also, keep in mind this tool does not connect to any bank accounts or anything. So just kind of keep that in mind. You can't connect credit cards to it. You can't connect of the bank account. So once again, it's that privacy factor. It's just based on an estimated knowledge that you have that's maybe in a bank account or what your credit card debt is or anything of that. So just keep that in mind. There is nothing with that can connect to any of those other platforms or third party or anything like that. This is all just based on knowledge for estimates when we dive in to the tools for that. So once again, we're going to dive into the website here when I switch screens, but there's that QR code once again, or you could just go smartwithmymoney.nd.gov. The link is in the chat. Before we dive in, I think the one thing that we have here is that this is completely free. And when we get to the website here, I'm going to switch to it. But before I do that, is there any questions that you have right now before I dive into the platform? And I think we'll have more questions for that, but I just want to make sure if there's any questions right now before we kind of start diving into the website here for the next 20 minutes or so. And I'm going to switch over if there's any questions that ever pop up here. So give me a second. Let me log in here quick, and then we will roll into the website. Okay, here we go. Let me share my screen for you guys. If it pops up. Share. Please let me know. Can everybody see that? Is that okay? Good. All right. So we're going to dive in here. This is under mine now. This is where I already took the financial assessment when you first log in for those first 10 minutes or so of taking those questionnaires. So anything that you see on my website is more catered to me on my dashboard. So please keep that in mind. If you see something different than what you have, that's probably because it's catered different to you that you see on the platform too. So when you first log in after taking that assessment, you will see the dashboard right away. It just gives you a quick overview of your weekly streak that you've logged in. We'll talk about the prize pool here a little bit. Right now, it shows that you can register for our next webinar that is coming up in March, like I said, for the quarterly webinar. I already did that, but it still pops up here. For that, then it shows each month different tasks. So it's like has 8 to 10 different tasks. This changes every month, where it has a different topic where you can learn for the entire month. This could be different for anybody, once again, when you log in, a different topic of what it is for you based on that financial personality. So my task right now, I still have a few more recommendations to do for that, but there's always a new daily task that you can see on the right hand side of your screen that updates every day. So mine's like completing a meditation right now, or engaging with budgeting content. And we'll kind of explore that a little bit. Now, the first thing here, you can see here, it's based on a weekly streak. So this is where if you log in every week, you can change that. If you just click on the weekly streak, it can also, I think it right away when you log in, it'll show the different. So you can either, how many times do you want to return? Monthly, weekly, or daily. I do mine weekly, even though I log in every day, just because I'm trying to really absorb this website quite a bit, and really try to help anybody that could use this and navigate it a little bit. But I just set mine weekly, where you earn more experience points. As you can see here, above this weekly streak, it shows like plus 100 XP. You can already see like I'm a level 11 on that based on experience points, just because I've been engaging in the content quite a bit for that, and just gives it a little bit more of a gaming feeling, and at the same time to really with that interaction. So first things first here, daily task. Let's just look at an example here. So this one says complete a meditation. You just click on that, and then it'll show the different categories of what could be catered to you for a meditation. Now, these meditations are actually audio. It's just like a podcast type audio thing. And if you click on managing bills, for example, it'll show, just goes in a little bit of related resources, but you begin a meditation. How long do you want it to be? 5, 10, 20 minutes. And then it's just one of those relaxing, soft voice and stuff like that, talking about money. It's very unique. Don't get me wrong. But it's like that relaxing feeling to really release that stress for that. I won't do a 5-minute audio thing for you guys, even though I know you guys are super enthused. I bet to try it, but right now that's just how it goes for one of those daily tasks that we have. Another daily task that I have here for today is engage with budgeting content. Once again, this might be different for each person based on the content. So it shows the latest, like the new stuff that has been popping up. Once again, new content is popping up at least every couple weeks, every month. It could be daily too. Based on that, it updates for sure every month with some new piece of content in a way. But this is just the latest in budgeting. So it shows some articles. It shows what's popular right now in budgeting for other users on the platform. A video, an infographic, anything of the sort like that. Now, as you can see right here, it's for this article, it talks about budgeting. You see the article is like 4-minute read. They estimate the 4-minute read. But in order to complete this check mark, to complete this, you need to engage with it at least 50% of what it shows for the engagement content for that. So you can't just click on it and scroll down. You actually have to, stay on the page and read, absorb for at least 2 minutes to really show that it is completed for the whoever is reading the article. So this article just talks a little bit about social media's latest financial trends, and then it breaks it down a little bit of the benefits of loud budgeting, financial literacy, creating a budget. So once again, not everybody will read articles or anything like that. So they want to make it too that there's videos available too to have that interaction too. So this is just an example of an article based on what for my daily task is right now for that. Uh, so topics shows the popular topics that are on the platform. If you go under topics and see all topics, this is where it dives in to see where it is overall from A to Z, from banking to budgeting to cars, consumer protection. That's brand new, actually. I just saw that here and it shows new right there. I didn't even see that one. And then it just shows a little bit about for parents preparing for parenthood, parenting, government support, HSA, buying a home. It just shows the many different topics. Let's just go to the parenting one. So let's just say for parents, click on that, and then it shows the breakdown of that topic of all the information in there. So you have videos talking about the college 529 plan for a little bit. Also talking about saving for your child's education, and then a little bit more. So it just shows all the content right here where you can see what it could be an article, start here guide, videos, infographics, or you can just search something there too. So that's just an example of the several topics that are there. And once again, it is adding at least on a monthly base for that. So that's just a look over all the topics. Now, the one thing that we're implementing here with colleges and high schools when we're getting into those econ classes and getting into the colleges for for financial education and stuff like that, we're looking at the courses tab. And this is where we are really focusing on with the younger children, the younger kids, just because it has something the teachers can really keep track of at the same time when we're going through this. So right now you can kind of see which ones I have already checked off that I have already done. It breaks it down between how the levels are. Is it advanced and how long it is? So when you click into a course, it'll of course break down what the topic is about. It'll have articles to read. It will have videos on what describing of what you're learning. But there is also quizzes in between. So you can't just skip through the entire course at the same time. It has interaction with those quick quiz questions, show that you are paying attention, you are learning something like that throughout this course to learn about it. Now, just based on this, this is where I would really dive into for a lot of courses because there's so many topics on here that you have based on like retirement, emergency fund, insurance needs, banking with financial institutions. Just keep scrolling down. Scholarships, dream career, living in retirement, credit and optimizing score. So you could just see it kind of just keeps going on what these courses are. So what we're really doing with the colleges and the high schools is that maybe this could be a weekly thing for a class. All right, log into your Smart with Your Money. Make sure you do this course for the financial literacy for this week. There is enough here to do for at least once a week right now for course wise for the school year, which is awesome. Now, a lot of teachers have been asking, like, well, how do we know if it's done? How do we know if they completed it? Because there is no login for the teachers to kind of oversee their platform if they did it or not. That is one thing that has been a lot of requested, but with the platform right now, it cannot do that where they can oversee any of the students of what they have completed or anything like that. So this is where we're kind of bringing this into the certificates right here. So did they complete that course? Well, if you click on the certificate here, look at that certificate of completion, print right there. Look at that. I completed it. It shows that I did doing those quizzes and everything. That will not pop up until you complete the course for that. So that's one of the things that we're really working with, and where we could really interact with anybody else in the state that has a platform or a program that really maybe you could gear them towards and really showcase like, here, I did complete it. Here's the certificate based on these courses related to financial literacy. So that's just one of those tools that we're really showing it showcasing in the for the this colleges once again and the high schools, excuse me. And but this could be implemented to many other platforms in some way or form, possibly. The tools right now. So this is where you see the recommended tools. This is just based on what I did on that quick assessment. Based on that, so it's showing money, personality, retirement analyzer, emergency fund. It's just talking a little bit of what it entails. So let's just go credit score here. This is an estimate, is not the free credit score that you get every year or anything, but it just shows a review of everything of that. So it shows just a quick tool here. We're just going to go through this really quick. It's like what type of credit report, whether open or close, a loan that you have, let's just say mortgage or something like that. How many years ago did you get your first card or loan? Once again, it's just going through some basic questions to estimate to help you with the tool. How many times have you applied for the credit in the last year? I'm just do 1 to 2 times to see what happens here. When did you miss a payment or any of your credit accounts? Let's just pick a number here right now for an example for that. Negative event happen to your credit report, bankruptcy, foreclosure, anything like that. And then it just shows an estimated credit score. Keep in mind, estimate. This is not an actual credit score. There is a disclaimer and all this, but it's just a tool, an example of a tool that you could really use to show what's in your credit score based on just breaking it down. So, and then you can also do it over too at the same time. But that's just an example of one of the many tools that are there. And now some of these tools will have you type in like what's an estimated level in your bank account or your savings account like that. Once again, that is 100% private. It will not connect to a bank account, anything like that. That is whatever you type in, you can estimate and break down on that tool. So I just want to reiterate that for sure, for a little bit on that. Then once again, it breaks it down to where the topics, I think we already talked about it, articles, it shows what's new, the start here guides, talk about business baking. It has an entire library of videos that you can search here with the latest videos and the popular videos for that. Infographics. This is where it's another thing. If people don't like, reading articles, it's just nice to have, an infographic that really pops a little bit. Yeah, there's still probably a lot of reading involved, but it really showcases it into a different way for that. And then the webinars itself, where you can watch previous webinars, and then of course the upcoming webinars that'll be coming up too, where you can sign up for. So there is a lot of information here, diving in. The last couple things I really want to show here. We already a little bit of the meditations. The journaling just shows, if you create a new entry, it'll give you a new topic to discuss, and that you can journal to really just showcase your thoughts on that too. Looking here, we are going to look at some of the data that it keeps track of that you can really showcase. So right now it's showing my financial stress score. So when you take that monthly or that assessment when you log in, you actually do that once a month, because then it keeps track of what your stress is. Is it going up? Is it going down based on financial literacy for that? So you can see here that my stress program has went from 15 to 11, and then went a little bit higher in February. I have no clue why, but after taking that assessment, it went up a little bit based on that. And then once again, it says an update available in 13 days. You'll take that assessment again to see if it is making progress based on the data for that. You can also see the breakdown of it a little bit more. It shows, exactly the impact of financial stress on your feelings, cognitive impact, behavioral impact. It really shows and breaks it down very nicely based on that assessment for a little bit more data, and maybe, really absorb that information. Personality wise. So the science behind it, the how. And then when you go to the next one, it shows your emotions. So my emotion type, based on that assessment, the money personality assessment, I'm relaxed. Well, 15% of people are relaxed, just like you, that have took the same thing. What are my strengths because I'm relaxed? What are my biggest challenges? Show some action items, and then recommended content. You can go through, of course, all the outlook, focus, and influence. I'm just going to skip to recommendations right now, but it shows my money personality right here in a nice last page right there. You can see I'm relaxed, optimistic, present focused, independent, and change seeking. And you can click on this. You can see where it's broken down between those three types. And then you're in the blue that's highlighted of what it is, what you matched with, and then the ones that you did not match with at the same time. So really nice to see that breakdown. The tools or recommendations once again, and then the personality types that could be catered towards you based on that assessment for all the topics. One last thing here, they'll have you do a checkup, I think, which I did talk to. It also shows you earn experience points, like that gaming type thing. And the more content that you gauge in, the more experience points you earn. Those experience points in turn go to a sweepstakes. So this is where the more sprouts you have, they call it sprouts here. You can see I have 640 sprouts. The more sprouts you have, the more chances, entries that you get to win some sort of cash prize of sort from the platform itself. I'm waiting for the 900 sprouts so I can just do 50 entries right away, but it's just based on that, how many entries you have. But that's just another initiative to really have you learn a lot of this financial content, this education to really make those smart money choices for that. So, overall, lots of information. The website is one of those where you really want to log in and dive in personally and then see how this could entail. How can this help somebody that you may work with? How could this help, the young students, the college students that we are working with at the same time? How could this help your mom, dad, grandpa, grandma, any of those family members, maybe your friend? It's just some of those education platforms to really log in as much as you want to learn a little bit more of that financial literacy. So with that, um, I guess I have time here for questions. I don't know if there's any questions that popped up in the chat or anything, but I am ready for what you guys have here for anything. So, Holly, I don't know if there's any questions that popped up or anything.
Not yet, but I do have my own question.
Yes.
So like a lot of our clients that we work with are very low income or homeless, and I'm sure you have it on here, but I just want to make sure, like, do you have like tools and topics about bankruptcy, filing for bankruptcy?
Yeah. I know it's on here. I just got to find it here on that. There should be a search right here. So
Okay.
you said bankruptcy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So debts, debt to income ratio, retirement. Let's see. Okay, so it talks about a little bit personal bankruptcy, alternatives to bankruptcy, managing debt, bankruptcy 101, what you know. So they do have topics under here. Why
Nice.
declare bankruptcy if you're not really bankrupt? Seeking outside help for getting out of debt. So there is many topics on here on that. It's the financial literacy is such a broad topic. So this is one of those things that for sure they'll probably be adding as the time goes on with
Right.
this platform too. But they do have stuff on here. Will it help anybody that you work with? I do not know. That's where maybe you might have to dive in a little bit on your side to see maybe this will work, that we can really have somebody create an account to just talk a little bit more. And I think the one thing is, this is a platform, but talking to a person that is really smart with their money or a financial planner is always one of my
Mhm.
recommendations and stuff. But maybe this is a good first step to really dive into. So hopefully that answers your question based on
Mhm.
that.
Is there like
Okay.
a budget template where people can actually fill in their budget?
Yeah. Tools, budget.
Oh, budget. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So it shows monthly income, breaks it down, how many investments, your maintenance, your personal family, your car, transportation, your health and wellness, how much fun money you want to do, and debt and stuff like that. And then it'll calculate exactly what your monthly net is. Budget status negative. The analyst, breaks it down, and then the resources that you could use based on that. So yes, it does have a full like spreadsheet type,
Yeah.
excuse me. So it's under tools and then it's under budget under that. So
Hmm.
yes, it does have that. Once again, it's a quick overview, but it gives you a rough estimate of what your budget will be based on each month and if you're in the negative or in the positive and stuff like that. So yes, good question.
Hmm. My last question. A lot of our clients don't even have a bank account or checking account or
Mm.
is there tools like how do I set up an account?
Yeah, it has everything working with banks here too on that too,
Oh,
for
okay.
banking. That is banking with financial institutions right there under my first search bar. So it's a course itself actually and talks a little bit about banking with financial institutions. Unbanked or underbanked, it's a common
Mhm.
phenomenon, choices, circumstances. So it does break it down a little bit for that. What's a checking account and why, savings account, how to choose a financial institution, reasons for using a financial institution for that. So yes, that's another course right there. Quick 15 minutes right there with some videos, and interactive exercises shows here and quizzes right away too for that. So you can see kind of what it's included in that course when you click on it. So yes, good question too.
Mhm. There's another question. Do you have a free app you recommend for keeping people accountable for goals and budgets?
Yeah, I don't have any recommended free app or anything. Um, the one, I mean, I don't think the bank has one or anything like that. This could be used for that. I actually recently taken this position and everything. I've really dived into a lot of the financial literacy stuff. So, but I used a paid one where it breaks down everything. Now, those paid ones connect your bank accounts and your credit cards. So just kind of keep that in mind. You want to make sure it's secure. I've been using the Quicken one. I think is what I've been using personally, but that's my personal opinion on that one. So not recommended from the bank or anything like that. So keep that in
Mhm.
mind. Yeah,
I use
good
Rocket
question.
Money and it works
Okay.
really good. Yeah.
Yep, I was looking at that one too. Or yep, Credit Karma. I thought that one was going to be shutting down though. I thought the Inuit Credit Karma or something like that. So I don't know. I was researching the one because that one was free if I'm not mistaken. They changed it over to another company. So maybe I'm mistaken on that one. But yeah, there is free ones, but of course, be careful with the free ones just because of the privacy aspect. I cannot reiterate that much, but even the paid ones can do that too. So got to keep that in mind when we do a lot of that financial budgeting and stuff like that. So, and maybe this is where an Excel sheet comes in mind where you find one and do something, but it is old school, but it still works budgeting with an Excel sheet. A little bit more difficult, but yeah. So Mint shut down is into it. Did both Credit Karma and Mint. They are now want people to use Credit Karma. Okay, yeah. Thank you, Faith. Yeah, I thought it was something like that. Thank you.
What
So
other
any other?
questions do we have for Kyle?
Yeah.
Well, I was just going to say, talking about old school, I haven't heard of any of these. So I'm learning a lot, but this is a super cool resource.
Thank you.
Excuse me. I just want to know, like, and I really love like the go at your own pace. I think that's so incredibly helpful for folks. What are your initial stats showing? Do you know yet? Like, what are some of your more popular
So
ones?
Yep. So that's a good question. So we haven't officially launched yet because April is Financial Literacy Month, and we're actually having the big launch coming up April 2nd with Governor Doug Burgum and stuff for a press conference. He wants to be really a part of this. So, and he's been really involved. So on April 2nd, we're doing a press conference at the Capitol at 10 a.m. And that's kind of the big launch of everything for the entire month of April. So we really haven't really outreached yet, but April is going to be the start of pretty much the whole thing of like this. So, you guys, this website is available. It's already available. It's already, stuff like that. But we're really starting to roll with it. So then we'll hopefully have to see what it is, what is entailed in the first 6 months or the first year after we really launch it. So I don't have any question, an answer to that yet, but just letting you know, we're having the big push starting in April with the press conference with the governor. So, yep.
Awesome, awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna go great. That's really, really exciting. It was actually Lance Hill from Bank
Yes.
of North Dakota who taught me that in order for people to be interested in learning about something, they have to hear about it
Mm-hmm.
5 to 7 times before they will pursue it. So
Yes.
I always talk about that. That's something that stuck with me in my work that I've done with Lance over the years.
Yeah.
And we love this. Obviously, it's a great resource. It's one more tool in our tool belt. But when I say we, I mean Faith puts a lot of information like on our website and on social media. Can we go ahead and share this?
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
Please. Please. Yes. And I mean, we're getting to the point. It's already mid-March, but we're already rolling it out. I'm already doing presentations on it. So it's out
cool.
there. You can go what you need to do right now. And then, just help get ready for when we start April with a lot of push and everything with for a lot of advertised media partners, stuff like that. So, yep, go ahead.
I do love me a good social media post or 8. So thank you for giving me April content. I really appreciate that.
Well, April's your financial literacy month, and you can take stuff from here and point it to Smart with My Money if you want to, or whatever you need to. I think it's primed and ready to go when April rolls around. So, Crystal's
Awesome. That's
excited. I
awesome.
love it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Crystal.
Thank you, Crystal. Absolutely. Folks, are there other questions?
And we went over a lot of content. I'm just going to recommend dive in, just go. It's
Okay.
out there, it's free. Click around, log in every week and stuff, and just see what's new. That's all I can recommend right now because it's just so in depth of what a topic entails for financial literacy, and it's important. It's very important, I think, this time and age with everything. But yeah, good information. Let's hopefully we can use this tool for everybody, for the state of North Dakota, for you and I and anybody. So thank you guys. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you, Kyle.
Yeah.
We just have such a tremendous amount of respect for Bank of North Dakota and all the great work that you guys do.
Thank you.
Peyton asks, how long has it taken you to get to level 11?
I have no clue because I have 5,800 XP out of the max 3225 it says here. But I've been logging in every day for the last 3 months since I really dived into this position. So maybe 2 months. I don't know. So that's a good question. I'm a gamer at heart too, so I kind of like seeing the XP go up. So good question.
Awesome. Well, folks, we did record today's training, and Kyle, we can just dive in, right? And maybe
Yep.
maybe you come back and join us in a few months, and
Yep.
if you've made any tweaks or updates or something you want us to learn. But we really want to thank you for your time today, and folks from the network who have joined, thank you for your time today. We're going to go ahead and give us all 11 minutes back on our Friday morning. Have a wonderful and safe weekend. And thank you again. We'll be in touch soon. Bye, everybody.